Hello, my name is C. Sorry, that was really loud and obnoxious. My name is C, and today I have a month in review for you for September. So in these videos, I chat about everything that I worked on, my thoughts on them, any whips that I have, and possible plans for the following month. So first up, though, we are going to take a quick peek inside my logbook and just see some of the things I've written down in here. I have two trackers that I like to show you guys because I think they're interesting. The first, let me find it, is my kid tracker. So this is just color coding what shops I work on. It has a really good look at a glance of how many kits I finished and the sizes. So that first number is the finish and then the size of the canvas. And of course there's my legend for all the kits I've worked on. I will say this month I got a little bit more variety in, which is really nice. As you can see, this light blue is all diamondartclub. So it's nice that I kind of broke it up a little bit more this month. And then here is my alphabet challenge. I don't think I'm going to be able to complete this. I was looking through my stash, like I'm getting really close. I'm looking through my stash, but I don't have any kits with like Z or X in the name at the start. The rules for this was the kit can't start with A, N, or the, or else it is disqualified. But anything else can be added in here. So getting really close, but I will always be missing a few spots here. It's just how naming things work, I guess. But anyways, that's kind of like my at a glance fun trackers here. Next up, I have the month at a quick glance. So this is September. In here, I keep track of how many kits I started this month, which was 5. I finished 6, and I ended with 3 whips. I thought I only had 2. I forgot I had one that I set aside. Anyways, I worked on kits from Jaded Gemshop, diamondartclub, makemarket, and Artdot, and placed a total of 154,075 diamonds. Roughly, those are always rough guesses. Oh. And as always, I do a lot of reading. Most of the time, I actually put a quote from a book here. However, none of the books I read this month really stood out to me and didn't have anything super memorable. So I decided I would pull something from My Hero Academia because I've been doing my rewatch. So I went with the absolute heartbreaking quote of, "Hey Zuko, can I still catch up to you?" I am not saying that in the proper way because I will just start crying. Anyways, I purchased 10 kits this month. It is not included in my gems flow yet, but I also picked up 12 Artdots. I picked up the Zoe Lee kits. So there's 12 in there. I've worked on 2. Whatever, we'll get there. My starting stash was 310 and I ended at 319 with 10 of those Artdot kits not included. I think that's actually supposed to be 320. No, I added it. Sorry, last month I realized I didn't have my Yume mystery in here, and I'm pretty sure I went in and added it. Anyways, let's take a peek at the kits. So first up, let me slide this back in here. Alright, let's actually get into, talking about the diamond paintings I worked on. So here we go. The very first one was from makemarket. This was just titled Mystery. So when makemarket did their Halloween drop, they released 4 mystery kits. This was one of them, and I've called it the Fall Mystery. I started it August 31st for number 34 of the year, finished it September 6th for number 33, and it is 133 of this year, and it is finished number 185 overall. It is a round kit, 50.8 by 40.6 centimeters, 42 colors. This kit did not come with any ABs. I added 6 of them. And yeah. Alright. Cool. Sorry, I was just briefly reading over my notes here. I wrote down that this was actually a really fun fall mystery to do. It pretty much, it's not a mystery once you open up the box. However, the way that the symbols were done, not everything was super clear and easy to see right off at the start. Like, I didn't realize that there was still stuff hidden in the background here. So it was still really neat to see it come together. Artdot uses a lot of these white guide circles with or red symbols, so it makes it a little bit trickier for my brain to pull together the image. But yeah, I said that this was really pretty. However, the dark black background, it draws everything in. Does that make sense? I feel like we lose a lot of the flowers and details because a lot of this isn't really showing. Like, there's colors in here, but I could not pick apart anything in here. It's a lot of really dark colors, and I think this image could have benefited from a background that wasn't black. Because again, like, and all of our flowers here have a lot of that black shading, so my mind is having difficulties picking apart those shadows within the flowers from the background, if that makes sense. The APs that I added was actually a gray along this flower down in here. We have some reds up in this flower. There was 2 shades of yellow that I used in this flower here, and these ones over here. What else did I add in? That might have been it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I added in a pink as well. There was a light pink AB in the flowers there. So it was fun to add those. I think they add a nice little shine to it. I do think that the bright oranges, that was another thing I had written down here. These bright oranges really draw your eye in, and zoom out, like, through my phone, I can see that it looks nice altogether. However, in person, this whole middle chunk is pretty much lost. This is just bright orange, and these are really pretty. I really like this kit. It was fun to work on. I just think the background really needed to be a different color. And this is the most confusing thing about this kit. Okay, so I have it as a landscape. However, the legend on either side and the skew makes this look as though it's supposed to be a portrait, but then it looks odd. I know it's as simple as me turning the kit, but I'm curious why they made that decision. Anyways, okay, this was a fun kit to work on for Drills and Chills, a nice little kit to start off September, I guess. All right, I'm going to go grab the next one. I think I've rambled about this enough. Which just so happens to be one of those Artdot kits I was talking about. So this one, yes, so Artdot released a kit of a box of 12 diamond paintings on Amazon called, I believe they just titled it Zoe Lee, but it was a whole bunch of landscapes and animal pieces. This is one of the 12. It is a lotus and koi fish. I started it September 15th, finished it on the 18th for number 34 of the year. It is 186 overall. It's around 25 by 35 centimeters, 32 colors with 3 ABs. Okay, I wrote that this was an adorable little kit. I really like that Artdot has these smaller sets that are licensed. A lot of the time these small kits aren't. It's harder to find small kits like this that are licensed. I know that they are out there. And I know diamondartclub has been putting out more on their Amazon. I can't order from their Amazon. But it's nice that Artdot has these little sets. It's what I've been trying to get to. It's cute. I do wish that this came with a sticker sheet. Like, this entire set doesn't have one. I think for their newer set, like the animal ones, I can't remember the artist, they added sticker sheets to that one. But I really wish this set came with them, just because it was tricky to keep looking at the legends to figure out what symbol was what color. So that wasn't my favorite thing. I also wrote down that the AB placement was so fun. Our little koi fish are entirely ABs. I think that is stunning. Would I have liked to see some sort of light green within these lily pads? Sure. But I think they chose something, like what they chose to highlight really did well. I also wrote down that I wish it was slightly bigger because I don't like the bug eye effect of our fish here. But then again, it's a nice little painting, so does it really matter? What else? This was actually my first kit that I worked on from Artdot, and I have to say that the canvas quality is there. The glue was great. The drills were dusty, but there was absolutely no static at all, which was such a nice breath of fresh air. I feel like a lot of the kits that I've been kitting up recently are just filled with static, so it's annoying to kit up. I wish they weren't so dusty, but whatever it is to help cut down the static, I will take that over it, over static. So anyways, it looks nice. And anyways, like the dust, since I've been moving these around and touching them, it's pretty much disappeared. So it's really not that big of a worry. For like $5 a piece, these are really, really nice, is what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, that was the first one. First Artdot mini set first Artdot mini kit that I completed. Let me go grab the second one, which I won't bore you with as much detail. Sorry. This is a Camping Under Galaxy Sky from the same set as the previous one. Our 3 ABs are actually up in here. It is the same size, 25 by 35, 29 colors, 3 ABs. I started this one on the 19th and finished it on the 19th. It was number 35 of the year for 187 overall. So again, a nice little tiny kit. It was actually really fun to work on this one because I was listening to In the Lives of Puppets at the time, and the main group of characters was actually like wandering through the woods trying to get to the city, so this was actually really fitting for what I was listening to. So yeah, anyways, again, the 3 ABs are up in the stars here, and then the inside of the fire. And I have to say, for something so tiny, this is gorgeous. I mean, you have like the glowing fire and the tent and the kind of like bright lights that are shining on the trees from it. It was captured beautifully. I have to say, I do wish that the colors were just a touch different within the galaxy here. I think they kind of just lay there instead of blend in with the night sky. But the coating from the ABs does give the galaxy a really nice effect. So yeah, anything else that I need to add? Again, it's a lot of the same comments as the previous one, so I won't repeat that. But yeah, this was just like a nice little kit to work on. Okay, let me grab the next one for you, which is a much larger kit. Let me see if I could zoom out to get the full thing here. There we go. Okay, so this adorable little ghostie is Death by Tex Art. It is from Jaded Gemshop. I started this one September 1st. This was my official entry into Drills and Chills, and it was so much fun to work on. Anyways, I'll get there. I finished it September 26th for number 36 of the year, 188 overall. It's square, 40 by 80 centimeters with 27 colors, two glimmers, and I added a crystal. Alright, I had a lot of comments for this one. I'm trying to figure out where I can put my notebook down. So first things first, I had a lot of troubles with the 310. I can feel it now, in this moon. I don't know if it's just because the 310s are always, I find 310s to always be the trashiest diamonds out there, and by that I just mean like odd sizes, little bits sticking off of it, holes, that type of thing. So when I did this moon and I had chunks, like giant chunks of 310 in here, I had diamonds that were constantly popping off. So like I would put down a row and then something above it would go flying. So the 310s kind of sucked, but it's not like the grid. It has to be the diamonds, because in all of this dark blue background, I didn't have that issue. So it's something to do with these 310s. Oops, sorry. Another thing, and that's just because of the sheer quantity of it. This 820 background also had a ton of trash. It makes it a little bit more tedious to work on because you have to I feel the need to pick out all the little odd pieces because squares sit so nicely and close together that if there is any extra bits or tabs or anything like that on the diamonds, it will just force everything to pop up. So a little bit more picking through of this dark blue background and the black for the moon. But that was about the only colors that I really struggled with, I would say. So that glimmer, sorry, one of the glimmers is actually this white that you see in our ghost. And I'm reluctant to call it white, actually. It's 3865, which is DMC for white, but it comes across in person as more cream. So like you have this really nice, let me see if I can get it close to you so you can see what I'm talking about. You have this like really nice, can we do this? I don't know if it's gonna come through. So this is all that glimmer, and it's like a shade different than the white beside it. So it's like darker, whereas our ghost should probably be the brightest color. I don't know, I've made comments about this glimmer in a different kit from Jaded Gem Shop, and I just don't feel that it is as white as it should be. Don't get me wrong, I really like the placement of the glimmer. I just wish it was a more true white, is what I'm trying to say. And then we also had a purple glimmer that is highlighting, it's just kind of like sprinkled along our ghost and then in the bottom of the tarot card here. So yeah, sorry, I think I'm coming down with a cold. It's not fun. So if I sound a little odd, I apologize. I was staring at this last night. I'm like, something is just off with this little ghosty, and I think it's the shading down here. Maybe I should have gone in and just picked up all of these colors and filled it in. I don't know. I'm not doing any changes now. I also thought about changing. It's true to the rendering. I should say that everything that I'm pointing out is true to the rendering. It just boils down to I like to change my kits sometimes, and that's what stood out to me. It's the same thing for the bats here. You have the bat is very dark and black, and then you go into his wings and it fades into purples. I heavily debated going in and just picking up all of those purples and putting in black. That's one of the colors that I have the most extras from. It didn't happen once I finished this kit. Oh, that crystal that I added is actually all the little stars that you see. So yeah, all of that. Crystals. I think they added a nice little touch. I think I made these ones too big, but they're still very, very pretty. What else did I write down? What did I love? Let's talk about what I loved. I really like how this tarot card turned out, how the crystals turned out. I think these clouds are fun. I did do some light rendering changes around this star so he appeared a little bit more clear. Same thing up here and here. But yeah, I think it's still a very adorable image. I love these little swoops down here. Very, very pretty. I did really love working on this one. Minus 3 10s, but whatever. Anyways, and I had plenty of extras for like every color, so I had zero risk of running out of anything. Okay, any other comments? I don't think so. One thing is, I think that this is I love Jade's hybrid charting for like her landscapes and that. It really helps capture all the details and get a ton of shading. So she has artwork that I think really benefits from the hybrid charting. I think this artist would benefit from the hand charting. Again, that just boils down to personal preference. I think that there's a lot of little details in here that could do with that crisper, cleaner look. Like you have some of the stars here that I don't know, I think this one just would benefit from that crisp, clean look of a hand redder. It's still very pretty as a hybrid. Yeah, personal preference, I think this one would have benefited from that. Okay, I'm gonna grab the next one. Okay, so we have one of the oldest kits in my stash completed here. This is Space for Reflection by Chuck Pinson. I actually purchased this one back in April of 2021. Before I get into all of that, I started this one September 6th, finished it on the 27th for number 37 of the year. It is 189 overall. Round kit, 74 by 55 centimeters, 44 colors. It came with 2 ABs. I added three fairy dusts and 1 additional AB. So what I was going to say, again, this is one of my oldest kits. I purchased it back in 2021. So this kit has gone through 4 years of me bending it and creases and just different ways of storing my canvases. It has changed multiple times over the years. And I have to say, like, give full props to diamondartclub and their quality. Because at one point this kit was folded, like, I'm talking rolled up and just flattened. And this thing is still, like, there's no creases, there's no wrinkles. It flattened out perfectly. So full props to diamondartclub for the quality of that. The glue is still great. After sitting without a dust bag or anything for over 4 years. So yeah, quality is great. The rendering, I am impressed with. This thing looks amazing. The grays in here, I really like the grays. Got a little bit tedious after a while. But I think it really helps makes all the oranges and the reds and the bright colors within the cabin really pop. So yeah, those specials that I added. So there's 2 yellows within the windows here. Those same those same fairy dusts added into the tree here. There's a couple in this tree as well. My other fairy dust that I added is actually 666, so that bright red within these trees. And the AB I added is in the greenery. So just kind of highlighting there. The ABs that were charted is actually the white up in the sky here. Not my favorite placement for an AB. I will be honest about that. I don't like ABs in the sky because it draws your eye in to the background, like pulls the background forward for some reason. And then the other AB is actually the orange within the tree there. So nice placements on those one, minus the white. The white's a little odd. Oh, the white in the reflection down here makes sense. I will give them that. That white is nice. Yeah. Really like the rendering. This one had diamondartclub's old style of the guide circles. So your symbols would be round with that white background and then the symbol on top of that. So it was a little bit more tedious to place everything because I had to be aware of where those circles were and try to center things. But it did give a really cool effect of like seeing it come together nicely. So yeah, I don't know, I still really like this. I do want to get into working on more landscapes again because this was a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed working on it. What else did I have written down? I didn't even look. Oh yeah, tons of confetti, but to be expected for a landscape. Okay, I think that is all that I have to ramble about this one. Again, I think it's really pretty. I know, I like it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna leave this one here. Ooh, I was gonna say, I really like the soft, like, again, the grays kind of suck to work on. But I do really love how soft the water looks here and the blending within the mountains and that. I do think it looks really, really good. Okay, I am going to go grab the last kit that I completed. This looks so sad in comparison to the last kit. Alright, this is Moonbats from Makemarket. I started this one September 27th, finished it on the 27th. It's number 30 for the year, 190 overall. It is around 20.3 by 25.4 centimeters with 26 colors. My notes, adorable, love the colors, love the size, meh about the grid circles. That is That is all I have written down here for this. Which is pretty much summarizes my thoughts nicely. It's a nice teeny tiny little kit. The rendering is great on it. The guide circles, again, kind of meh. It's the very obvious ones with the symbol being a full white circle, and then you just have like the red in the center for some of them. So again, very obvious to see where I misplaced things. If you know, you're nice and close to it, but nobody's getting that close. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I do have to trim this border because, like, if I slide in, hold on. If I slide this in properly, you get like this weird canvas tail that sticks out. So I have to trim the bottom and top so that when I put this on, it's not visible. I'll do that later today. But yeah, I know in my unboxing I talked about adding in some ABs and specials than that, and by the time I got halfway done this kit, I remembered, so nothing got added, unfortunately. But it's fine. My month in review is going up on Wednesday. If you would like to see me do a whole like start to finish video, process video, me working on this one, that goes up on Friday actually. So fun little sneak peek, I guess, depending when you watch this. But anyways, that's everything I completed. I didn't add that I really like these small little makemarket kits. For what did I pay? 20 bucks for this? They're not bad at all. Do I wish that they would skip out on, like, because it came with a pen that I most likely will not use because they're screw tips. They're also really heavy. I could do without that to bring down the price of these little guys, but I do like how they include the frame. So I don't know. But anyways, okay, that's everything I completed. I was gonna say I had a great month, but I'll be honest, I only completed the last 3 kits in the last 3 days. I'm filming this on the 28th. I don't plan on getting anything else finished this month, so that's why I'm doing this early. Yeah, I pretty much finished half these kits in the last 3 days, and like the weekend hit, I was like, let's go. I also started listening to A Study in Drowning, which really interesting book and helped me focus. So anyways, I'm rambling. Those are my finishes. I will grab my one whip that I have pulled out to show you, and we'll chat about the other 2. Oop. Oh my gosh, this thing is covered in cat hair. Good thing you can't see it, I hope. Okay, there we go. This is Tennessee River Sunset. I have no idea where it was at the end of August for progress on this one. You guys would know better than I do. But I have the first 2 rows done. I actually meant to work on this one some more this month. It just didn't happen. So it is going to be a priority in October. I got some of the enhancement pack from Deep Blue Sparklers to add into this one. Like the glass sparklers in here. There's a green and a yellow. I have the glitter, and I think there's a couple extra ABs and fairy dusts in here too. I can't quite remember everything. It's like, I know the glitter is like this dark maroon color, which is so pretty. And then there's like fairy dust in here. There's an AB in here. I have no idea if that's actually what came with the kit. There's more ABs up in here. I really like the look of these sparklers down here. They're so pretty. Anyways, yeah. This is one I really want to prioritize in October. Especially since like the next couple rows here is like color blocking. Like that's all just line blocking, so we work up really, really quickly. But yeah, the other whip I have is the Crafter's Den Summer Mystery. I will not be showing it just because they're only starting to arrive now, and I don't want to spoil anything. So yes, I have the Crafter's Den Summer Mystery started. Well, I started it today. I got a sizable row done on it so far. So it would ruin some of the surprise. I will say it is gorgeous, and I am adoring the specials in that one. I can't wait to show you in October what it looks like. I will have an unboxing video of this one up, but that will be one of my more fancy unboxings where I plan on including some time lapses and clips of me working on it, so that way at the end of the video it is also finished. But yeah, that's kind of my plan for this kit. It should be a very quick finish. And then I also have the Morning in a Pine Forest from Jaded Gemshop that I started for Summer at the Masters. That is also technically a whip, but it is on hold until November? We'll see. In terms of what's next, I am having the hardest time trying to decide what I would like to work on. Like I said earlier, Moonbats was actually finished 190 overall. So I have 9 kits of wiggle room for what I would like to do. And I say that because I would like In This Moment from by You May Art to be number 200. However, Canada Post is on strike. I have an order from DP with sparklers that got caught in the mail. So I can't start In This Moment until that order arrives. Which also means I might just end up with a ton of whips that I can't finish until I get those specials, and who knows when that will be. It all depends on Canada Post and the government up here. Fun times. But yeah, so I don't really know what I'm going to work on next. I would like to do the Diamond Art Studio UK, the Chart to Art Ghost doing stuff, since that will be within the season. I also have the Pixyls Advent over here. I can show you that. So like I have this guy that I would like to start up pretty soon so I can time lapse it for you all. And then okay, I also worked on these last night. Can I just say I love Pixyls. This is so much fun. I don't like this. It's so much more tedious than Pixyls. So I think I'm just gonna stick to these two when I place my next order. But yes, I will be working on this in October as well. I think that's all. I might also just end up working on my big canvases like this until those specials show up to kind of drag out that 200 spot. We'll see. I honestly have no idea what I'm gonna do. I'm still debating. So anyways, let's go with, if you made it to the end of my rambling sessions, can you just drop a leaf down in the comments? I would love to know who stuck through the last 5 minutes of my rambling. Anyways, let me know what you worked on in September. I am so curious. I always love to hear what other people are working on. And let me know what you plan to work on in October. I have to say, October is my writing month, so I know for a fact I'm not making nearly as much progress on kits as I would like to. It's also why I didn't get as much done this month, or why I worked on a lot smaller kits this month, is because I was also spending a decent amount of time writing. So, yeah. Anyways, let me know what you worked on this month, what you'll work on next month, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!